Welcome back to Runecast, everybody. We have our special guest, Siren Tarot, is here with us. And if you watched the first video, we did a 9 worlds rune reading for her. So what we were focusing on, I don't know if you can see this, is, her question is, why does she feel like she's blocked? Well, we take a look at where the runes settled for her, and one of the main places was over here in Lightalfheim, or Alfheim, it's sometimes called. And we see here that Algi's is reversed. We also see in Hell, we see Isa, so there's something frozen there. And then her exchange, which is probably her main objective, lies somewhere in the unconscious past, like the Gifu, like her gifts. So indeed, like she said, she feels stuck. This is the reason why. And also Thurzaz, in her physical realm, remember this is the earthly side, this is the spiritual side. In her physical realm, Thurzaz was reversed. So my prescription for her was to work on this realm here, Lightalfheim. If we could figure out why she wasn't protected there, and work on that, that we might influence these other worlds and turn her, get her weird back on the right path. So my prescription to her involved meditating once a day for a week. As her guide, I asked her to call to Hugin, one of the two ravens, two of Odin's ravens. Hugin is thought, and his cohort, the other raven, each one sits on either side of Odin, and the other one, Munin, is memory. So she called out to Hugin, right?
Yes.
And she meditated for 7 days, right?
Yes, and I wrote down each day the notes for the meditation.
So what we're going to do, like she took extensive notes for each meditation because I wanted her to grab details to see what was going on in this realm. This is a spiritual influence. There should be something positive there, a tool for her to use to turn her situation around and unblock her. So I was hoping through Hugin and meditation that she could come to some awareness. So she's going to tell me a little bit about what she saw in her meditations and what Hugin showed her. And from there, we're going to kind of determine like what her tools and next steps will be. And also we'll take a peek at that realm specifically and see what rune comes up in that realm. Okay, go ahead, Siren Tarot. I'm going to take a little notes of my own while you read about your 7 days of meditation. First of all, how did it go? How did you feel about meditating?
Well, I meditate all the time, but to do a specific meditation and to call on a certain guide like Hugin, that was new for me. And I had mixed feelings about it. I've never really had much luck calling on a certain guide or deity. I've always just kept it very loose. But at first, there was distance. I mean, I asked him questions, he responded, but in one of the meditations, it might have been day 3, he actually started squawking, and that was really cool.
Show him some of your pictures. This is really important. Put it right here. She just scribbled away in that journal. There's some amazing stuff in there. So on the 3rd day, you started talking?
Yes, I think I'll have to look and see, but...
Okay.
Well, in the first meditation, a Sororo came to me, so it was all focused on my matrilineal lineage, my mom, and her mom. I said, take me to my maternal grandmother, and this is very visceral. My mother first. My mother is a lithe maiden in white, long blonde hair, beautiful, benevolent, gracious. And she said, you are blameless. And that's nothing at all like my mom, in the 3D as I know her. This was all in the 5D or whatever.
Okay.
And then the tarot cards that jumped out, they came to me in this meditation, were 6 of Swords, the Empress, and Strength. Leo, Venus. Venus, 6 is Venus. Take me to my maternal grandmother, a filthy, miserable hag on the ground in the dark, eating, devouring, not getting enough, greedy, ravenous, howling. It was very negative. I don't know why. Well, I kind of do, but then she was a kitten lapping milk from a saucer. And the word that came to mind was purified. So purified for the grandmother, sanctified for the mother. And then take me to my maternal grandmother's mother, my great-grandmother, Lillian Marie Collins Crenshaw. And the word that came to me was fortified. And I'm in the desert, and there is one towering saguaro. And I got this message, wear red. Red is victory, red is the key. All geese, we are free. 2 stones for removing obstacles, hematite and angelite. Hematite and angelite.
Okay.
That was the first day. And I did research on hematite, and I got one from Etsy, and I got angelite from Etsy.
So overall, for the first day, didn't you say the connection was really strong with your great-grandmother?
Yeah, she was the saguaro in the desert. She represented strength.
But didn't show the picture of the saguaro. Didn't it look like Augie's?
I did, and I went to Etsy and got a saguaro necklace that I'm still waiting on, a pendant. Well, it came on a chain actually, but I've not received it yet. The saguaro is like Augie's.
Okay. So, and of course it was turned right side up, unlike your reading. So, okay, so your great-grandmother, as far as ancestry, she might be one of your advocates, okay?
And she was Sagittarius.
Okay.
Okay, so second day, Augie's, Hugin, the saguaro, again, I consciously brought it back. And I meditated using blue lace agate, epidote, moldavite, and amethyst. I rode a white horse naked on a beach. Hugin flew. I was in the ocean beneath Saturn. I was in a garden. I was planting. I was watering. I was at a table. There was a white pitcher. This one was really extensive. Okay. This one, I went on and on.
What is the gist? What do you think
the
most
gist,
important of that day?
The gist of this is that I'm supposed to express myself. Well, I already do that. I overexpress. I express to excess. This is a quote from this day. Go to the water. The key to your north node is your south node. My south node is 16 Cancer in the 11th. So the key to the north node is the south node. Your south node is where you're comfortable. It's where you're stuck. That's your comfort zone. Like I've said on my channel numerous times. My comfort zone is staying at home, hiding, doing domestic shit, doing laundry, doing dishes. My north node is being on camera and expressing myself and teaching others, teaching from my experience. And my experience is considerable. The south node, Cancer, that's my life in Texas and the life of my mother, her mother, and her mother. You know, the traditional route where you get married, you take care of the husband, the kids, the grandkids, like that. But my maternal grandmother and her mom, my great-grandmother, they did run a business out of their home, out of my great-grandmother's trailer house. They had CNF answering service when I was a kid in the 80s, and they had success with that.
Let me see where the other readings were.
What do you mean?
Where the other runes were in your original reading. There it is. Oh, yeah. Okay. Thurisaz was reversed here. In Midgard, you had...
Is that not these in the center?
Ethwas.
Ethwas, okay.
Kinaz was
that's
up here.
Laguz.
Laguz is there.
Augie's reversed. You got that already. Okay.
Ing is up there in Muspelheim. That's good. And then Fehu was down here in Jotunheim.
And
so
we want
that's good.
We want Fehu to be at the top.
Well, Kinaz is good to have at the top too, because that's your higher self, and that's a knowledge and enlightenment.
Okay.
Okay, so of the 7 days, what do you think were the most powerful visions that you had, and what?
Well, there's no doubt the most powerful day was day 1, when I saw my mom, my grandmother, my great-grandmother. That was the most powerful. But when he started squawking, I think it was on day 3, I'm not sure. I've got so many notes, not just from this, but from other things. I'm always doing it. Was he talking? He
Did you show him that picture? You drew a picture of him. Show him. There's Hugin.
That's my friend, my spirit guide, Hugin.
Okay.
He's a crow.
Raven.
He's a raven. Okay. Let's go here. This is day 3. Yeah, day 3 is when he started talking. I saw him on a bookcase and he started going, wah, wah, like he was squawking. And he said, "You're supposed to write. Write your way out of hell, write your way out of jail." And he took me to Norway.
Okay. So again, we go back to the expression, that's going to, obviously, and the writing, that's going to be the key to your unblockage. But we do need to turn some things around in the spiritual world. What do you know about your great-grandmother? Did you have any relationship with her? Did your grandmother?
Yes, it was very terse. I was not close to her. I was terrified of her. She was like Saturn in my life, because I have these vivid memories of me sitting with her in her trailer house, and she'd be sitting in a recliner, chain smoking Marlboros. And she would tell me about her life in the Great Depression, how when she was a little girl, she would go from house to house with a cardboard suitcase. "Can I live with you? Can I live with you?" She wasn't an orphan, but for some reason...
She wanted to get out of the house.
Her dad was a cop, and I guess he was abusive. I don't know. But it's almost like she resented me. She saw me as spoiled and pampered, and she didn't have that kind of life. She was not spoiled and pampered. She was a scrapper. Her first husband, my great-grandfather, my maternal grandmother's father, they were both Sagittarius, and he was a cowboy, a real cowboy. He worked the rodeo, and he worked various ranches in Texas in the 30s, 40s, 50s. He was abusive. He was an alcoholic. They married and divorced twice. So what I know of her is that, without question, she was the strongest woman I ever knew in my life, and she was uncompromising.
Wow. Okay. I think she's your ally in the spirit world, and I think Hugin was trying to show you, the strength of some of the women had in your past, and so be it maybe your mother and your grandmother, you have conflict of interest, but here's this third woman, ancestor of yours, who was very strong and survived a lot. I have a feeling she's really on your side in this realm and could help with the conflicts in both Hell and Niflheim and kind of bring this to fruition. So what I'd like to do is kind of do a reading just on Lighalfheim, since we spent 7 days in Alfheim trying to work on algaes there, and let's just see where...
Would you say Lightalfheim was the 5D?
Yes, like anything... Okay, I don't know what 5D is, but anything on this side...
I would say it's the field of potentiality. It's where things have not manifested. The 3D is where we're all about, the reality, the 3D of planet Earth.
This side of the reading and these realms are all spiritual consciousness, higher consciousness. Some things you're aware of, some things are present.
The dream realm.
This is more future spiritual.
Astral realm, yeah.
This is more future spiritual outcome. This is current. Sometimes you're aware of this, sometimes you're not. This is spiritual over here, but this could be past. It could be past, and it could be unconscious, Okay. Anything below this line is pretty much, you're not aware of it. Subconsciousness.
The shadow.
Tends to be subconscious. And then everything over here is the material world. This is like material past. In Jotunheim, this is material present. This is material future. And of course, this is, ultimate higher consciousness. So this is the realm. These 3 realms is where we really want it, because you have some powerful runes in here, but it shows you're in a weakened state currently.
Yes.
So, but you have a strong foundation.
Okay.
So this is backbone. This is strength.
Tenacity.
Yeah. So, anyways, so we're going to focus on Lightalfheim.
Okay.
And do a reading just on that one realm and kind of see how we did with algaes. Would you like to pull the stones? Would you like to throw the tines?
I want to throw the tines.
Okay, you want to throw the tines. Okay, let me put this over here. And here, kind of stand up and throw the tines.
Do I throw with force or just kind of lazily let them fall?
You can just let them fall. You don't have to throw
Do I
them
do
down.
like this?
Yes, you can. That's a good way to do them, but just use your intuition. How do you want to cast them down? Okay, let's see what we got here.
That's interesting.
That is really interesting. So I'm going to take a look at it from above and kind of see more what it looks like. So this is good. This looks like Inga's, not really Othello, but I think Inga's is trying to, or Ing is trying to form here the double X. And when I say that, I'm showing this. So so this is the Ingas that I'm looking at here, okay? Which would be good. That's fertility. Ing is a very good rune.
So fertility for people who can't have babies, who don't have a uterus, fertility is creative.
Yeah, it can be creative. And then I'm trying to see what else is going on here. So give me a moment to kind of squint and look. So this is what I'm talking about when I see Ingas. See how they kind of cross like that, but they were kind of thrown down in that direction.
Yeah.
But I definitely see that diamond shape in there. And I also just want to say that, you know, let's have you throw another one.
So that was no good?
No, that one's good. We're keeping that. That was a clear rune out of that.
Okay.
Do another.
Should I use my non-dominant hand?
Whichever one you want to. Just use your intuition. Okay. What do we see here? Thurzan's reversed. Hagalaz. We see a couple of runes in here. I see a couple of them. And I'll show you which ones I'm thinking of. I'm thinking these ones right here are making Hagalaz. And this one is trying to make Thurzaz. For those that are looking at it. But it was a little towards the top, so it could have been Wunjo. But I think we're going to do Thurzaz. And then I'm going to have you do one more.
Okay.
Let me just write them down. Hagal and Thurz. Okay. One more.
Yeah, I feel like I need to use my non-dom.
Okay. What is this trying to tell us here? This is like an old form of Kinaz, or could be Fehu coming up here. Kind of see Fehu.
Please be Fehu, please.
Let's have you do one more. It wasn't quite complete. Ah, very good. Okay. I see Othello here. Do you see the diamond with the X at the bottom?
Yes, cool.
Okay, that is really good. And again, we get this formation here, which we'll talk about a little bit more. But yeah, I see Othello there, and I also see Ansu's was like sideways, kind of, which is good. We want that. And then Othello was kind of like that. That's kind of the best Othello you can get with a tine throwing like that. Okay, so I saw Ansu's and off. Okay, so for your Lightalfheim reading, after your trip to the other side with Hugin as your guide, this is how your Lightalfheim is looking right now. Okay. From what you told me, okay, we still have Thursday, you're still in a little bit of a weakened state there, but things are about to change in that realm. This shows communication with, your inheritance or your family, like your great-grandmother.
Yeah.
So it looks like there is kind of a spiritual line of communication going on there between you two, which is going to help fortify you for this change that is coming. It's still in process, okay? But at least it shows that this change is coming, and it should be good for you. Like, for example, the other realm right above where your algae was, okay, is Vanaheim, which is this other world up here, which is Ing. Like, you know, the rune for Vanaheim is Ing. So you can draw it as a diamond or you can draw it like that, either way. So I have a feeling that, you know, it's in order for you to get to Vanaheim, and in your Vanaheim, show me again, in your Vanaheim, oh, it was Laguz. I remember it was Laguz. So when that happens, there's a tremendous amount of energy up there in your Vanaheim to tap into. So yeah, I think it would be good, you know, to continue with some meditation on Vanaheim. I think it's better than sending you down to hell to try to break up that ice because you had Isa in your...
I want to go to hell with an axe and just chop at the ice.
Yeah. Well, let's fix your Lightalfheim or Alfheim.
So you can write out a new prescription for me, a new
Yeah.
meditation.
I think we should continue.
Do I keep talking to Hugo?
We might do something different. So we had, before I forget this, we had Ing, we had Hagal, we had Thurs, we had Ansuz, and we had Othella. Those were your runes. That's where your Lightalfheim is right now. Something's about to change. You definitely started some progress. Communication was made with your ancestors.
Okay.
Definitely was. But this still shows, you know, you're still a little bit weak in that area.
Oh, I absolutely am.
Yeah, it really shows.
I've got all these crystals.
And you can see from the other reading, like the weakness there also showed up in the material world because your Thursaz was reversed there too last week. Okay.
It's been a dry spell. I've not done client readings in over a week. So if people want to contact you for a personal rune reading, are you ready to start doing rune readings for clients?
Sure. I'll have to set that up. I'll put some stuff in the description box.
You have your PayPal.
Yeah. I'll just have to set it up. But yeah, if you wanted a rune reading, I'd be happy to do one for you, of course. So with this, we'll do another prescription for you, and we'll be back in a week with another video.
Yes.
Okay. I think it's coming along there.